Hey everybody, and welcome back to some more Frostpunk. We're on day 40 and things are about to get really cold really fast. We've got consecutive drops day after day after day, from 60 to 70, from 70 to 80, and then from 80 to who knows what. Minus 90, minus 100, maybe even lower. I'm not too sure, but the storm is getting ever closer. Thankfully, we are, I think, as prepared as we're going to be for this storm. We have 35,000 coal, we have 5,698 food rations, not including the extra 500 raw food, which will turn into about 1,000 more food rations on top of what we already have. We've done all of the preparations that we possibly can. The only objective now is to wait for the storm to hit. Now, we do have available the ability to unlock another technology. As I mentioned in the last episode, I think we've pretty much got all of the technology that we need at this moment in time. I don't think any of the new technologies are really going to help us out all too much, but in the interest of maybe completing all of the technologies, I will go ahead and do infirmary mechanization, which is going to lower the number of people required at our infirmaries. Again, not a problem. We do have almost 700 people living in our city, 332 of which are currently unemployed, and as soon as that storm hits, the number of unemployed is going to skyrocket. We're going to have so many people not doing anything, and that's fine. Researching hunting tactics at this point is woefully unnecessary because, again, on day 43, which is only 2 days away now, our hunters are no longer going to be able to do anything. It's going to be too cold for them to leave the warm confines of this crater that we find ourselves in. But there we go, that's another whole tree of research completed. We now just have resources and then exploration and industry. I guess streamlined prosthetics is probably a good idea. We still might get a few amputees going forward, and being able to streamline that process is always going to be useful. Fight over supplies. Sir, an argument erupted between some workers last night. Some of them wanted a portion of the rations their facility produces so they can prepare for the storm. It came to blows, and though nobody was seriously injured, tensions are running high. Keep me updated. Nobody should be worried. I wish I could just hold up like a big sign or send out a message to everybody's house being like, hey, we've got a ton of coal, we've got a ton of food, we're gonna be fine. Everything is going to be okay. The storm is not going to beat us. We have got this, I think. We are filling up on steel and wood. And again, it's one of those situations where I really don't think we need more steel and wood at all. And we're also kind of running out of space to put down more resource depots. And so you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. 4,000 steel and 2,000 or 3,000 wood is fine. I'm okay with our automatons not being as efficient as possible if it's because we've already filled up on resources. I think 4,000 steel is fine. We have nothing more to build, right? If there was another house upgrade maybe or more machines to build, I would be I'd be all for it. But right now that's not the case. So negative 70 is still fine. All of these houses are still livable. A mob storms the stockpiles. Sir, a crowd of terrified people have stormed the stockpiles and started plundering our supplies. We managed to fight them off, but they demanded wood for heating and to reinforce their homes. We'd need 1,380 wood to supply everybody. So we can either give away 1,380 wood, disperse the crowd, in which case people may get hurt, or the city comes first. Let's do it. Let's give them all the wood. We have so much wood. I will happily give wood to people. I do wish it had a bonus if they could actually secure their homes, but that's fine. We've still got 400 wood. This is completely fine. Streamlined prosthetics is done. Might as well finish that with optimized prosthetics, which are 50% faster. I don't think we could upgrade this wall drill. I guess we could, but we'd have to dismantle some automatons, which I think I will do. I'm going to dismantle this one, and I'm going to dismantle this one, just because we don't need research being done at such a fast rate, right? Like, we've already got all the research we need. If we can put our automatons to better, or the steam cores even, to better use elsewhere, let's do it, right? And we'll do it with wood. We've just given away 1,800 wood, just in case we happen to need a ton of wood in the next few days. Let's upgrade our wall drill. Other than that, I think we can just speed things up here and wait for the storm. I think all we have to do now is make sure that we balance the generator, keep everybody warm. Everybody right now is doing okay. Optimized prosthetics is done. And I guess we'll do medical automation integration to make those automatons that we don't have working in infirmaries more efficient at not working in infirmaries, I guess. Let me check our stats real quick. Coal-wise, we're doing fine. If we look at a full history, you'll see recently we have been just rapidly accelerating the rate of coal generation to the point where we now have just a ludicrous amount of coal. We're generating 5,500 coal per day, which is kind of crazy. Wood production is also doing great. You can see this new bump from our 2 new advanced wall drills. That's doing fantastic. Steel is still doing fine. We're somehow gaining more steel now than we were before we shut down the steel outpost, which I guess is due, at least in part, to the upgrades we made to automaton efficiency. So the automatons working on the steel mills are now getting even more steel than they were before. Food, again, we had like an exponential rise in food for a few days there. This one is really the one to watch out for. We do have nearly 700 people in the city, and feeding them all could be the only thing that holds us back. Health is fine. We're kind of keeping up with healing the sick people as they get sick. We did have 1 death, or maybe 2 deaths, or a few deaths on day 30, but minimal along the lifetime of the city. And then housing-wise, almost everybody is warm. There are 2 people who are chilly, or cold even. Where are these people? Why are you cold? Oh, does the number of inhabitants affect the temperature of a building? Because I think that these buildings here, if we look at like the nearby Steam Hub, all of these buildings on the outer edge, especially like this one, are out of the radius of this Steam Hub, and yet this one is livable, as is this one, while this one is chilly. And so I have to assume that it's maybe due to the fact that there are 2 people living here and 10 people living there. I didn't know that that was the case, but that's interesting to know. I probably will either get rid of these gathering posts or more likely just turn them off when the temperature drops again, because they're already chilly, and having them work when it gets cold just means that we're more likely to have people getting ill, which means more, burden on our infirmary and whatnot, which we really want to try and mitigate as much as is humanly possible before the cold hits, so that we have, the infirmary space ready for when the storm does hit and people inevitably get cold. As for the tech tree, I guess we'll go with the steam sawmill next. I really do think we're going to complete every single bit of research. I guess it really depends on how slow research gets once a storm hits. Given that we only have like 1 automaton working on research now, it might slow down quite a bit. I think we just speed it up and wait it out. I think we're just waiting to see how cold it gets and whether or not we have prepared enough. The game seems to think so. It says we have more than enough food. We've got 11 days worth of coal. That is, of course, at the current going rate of coal, which, of course, is subject to change as soon as we turn the generator up. But here we go. Negative 80 is the new temperature. So people are now getting chilly. If we bump up to level 3, does that bring people back up to livable? It does. Fantastic. That takes our current amount of coal down to 8 days, which I think is still okay. The charcoal kiln could come in useful. It allows us to turn wood into coal if things get dire, which they might, although I don't anticipate that being the case. Now, I do have a feeling that when the temperature really starts to drop, and by that I mean like whatever happens at the storm here, we're probably not going to be able to keep people livable, even at, the max generator level. I think we're going to have to settle for chilly, maybe even cold, hopefully not very cold, but I have no idea how cold it's going to get. Charcoal kiln has been researched. Let's go with the charcoal kiln thermostat. Again, I don't think there's anything in the Book of Laws that I care about at this point. All of these are still the same as they were before. And then the purpose, there is the temple, which will raise hope and can mend the ways of the Londoners who are already long gone. So now I just think we're waiting. We've got a few hours left. The storm is going to hit in 12 hours. Also, real quick, how are we doing over here? These are chilly. So I think I'm going to turn off all of these gathering posts. People should not be working here when the drop hits in, 8 hours or so. It's already chilly. It's surely going to get even chillier when that happens. So go home. We don't need any more coal. We're almost full on our core stockpile as it is. Research has been complete. Let's do the bellows. And I think Sawmill Range might actually be the last bit of research. I do wonder if there's like a Steam achievement for completing all of the research in the game. I assume there must be, right? That seems like the kind of thing that would be achievementable. Surprisingly few ill people, he says, as the number of ill people rises dramatically. I assume due to the cold workplaces that some people are still working in. I'll turn off the cold thumpers as well, the ones that are not being worked by automatons. And even then, we might as well turn off the one that is being worked by an automaton, because if no one's there to gather it, there's no point in having an automaton there, right? And then we can just go and put that automaton that we've just taken off work, like, on one of our workshops, maybe? Yeah, we'll take you off there, and we'll throw you on over there so that our engineers can go and stay at home and hopefully not get too ill. Here it is. Oh, well, that's the research. That's not what I was on about. Let's do the last bit, though, I guess. The storm is here. Discontent. There's a small amount of discontent in the grand scheme of things. People are getting colder. The storm hits the city. A howling gale bursts upon the city and the generator creaks and groans under the weight of the wind. Pale faces turn towards rattling windows, trembling lips utter words of prayer. Trembling lips, have you seen how warm my city is, game? These people are downright comfortable. They have no concerns until, you know, the storm hit. Hunting is impossible. The soil in the hothouses will freeze. We'll have to make do with the food we've stockpiled. The city must survive. We've almost filled, like, all of our stockpiles. So I think we can weather the storm. So we're at negative 90. I assume we're going to go negative 100, 110, 120? 120 is very cold. I'll turn the generator up. Again, I know that we can't keep people livable forever. But if we can keep people livable at negative 90 degrees Celsius. That is pretty crazy. I'm going to take everybody off. I don't think people are going to these hunters' huts, but just in case they are, just in case there's some silly person out there who's going to work despite the fact that he can't work, let's, you know, turn that off. This house over here is freezing, which is definitely a problem, so let's put down another steam hub, like right outside their front door. The public house is off. Everybody is unemployed from the public house for now. Hope has fallen drastically. At the start of today's episode, hope was very high. Like almost max, whereas hope is now tumbling. But I think we are done with the tech tree. I think we have every single piece of technology available and unlocked. I cannot see a single piece that has yet to be unlocked. So in much the same vein, everybody is now unemployed. From the workshops, go home where it's warm, be with your family or just roommates, whoever you have. Stay huddled up, stay cozy. And let's move on through this, shall we? I do wonder if it's going to get so cold to where the automatons stop working. I don't think it will. I can see the automatons over here like trying to work on the steel, but they can't because we've got too much steel. We're about to hit full on wood as well. We've got 6 days worth of coal. Our coal is plummeting fast. Now, let's dismantle these guys and let's build another advanced coal mine. Like here. And then maybe we'll take one of the automatons off of steel and put them on this. I don't love that people are out working, by the way, in this, you know, negative 90 degree weather, but building to get a coal mine going, I think is definitely worth it. So the automaton is on. Danger of collapse. So one of our engineers wants to talk to you. He's concerned about the danger that the cold poses to our mines. We're doing everything we can to heat the mines, but the air we're pumping into the shafts is so cold now that the hydraulic roof supports are starting to freeze. When they do, the tunnels will start collapsing. Keep me informed. Okay, so we have just built a new mine, but we have to bear in mind that mine might not be working in a few days. We have 5 days worth of coal left. That'll take us to day 49. Discontent is rising. Cold at home. All right, here's negative 100 degrees Celsius. We are now at the point where I can no longer assist. That's not true. I can pump the generator into overdrive. Look at that. People are... I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to wait until the next drop and then turn the overdrive on. Because right now, chili's okay. Coal mine crisis. The mines are freezing. Sir, it's so cold that the hydraulic roof supports in our coal mines are failing. If the tunnels collapse, the lower levels will be cut off. We should either abandon them or send volunteers to repair the supports, but the task is extremely dangerous. Abandon the lower levels. The output of all coal types will fall by 80%, as compared with send volunteers to where 10 people might die. We're going to abandon them. Again, from a practical game standpoint, I think sending 10 people out of 700 to die is kind of a risk worth taking, but that's not how we're playing this game. We are keeping as many people alive as we possibly can. We do have 48 people in hospitals right now, but that's fine. We've had over 100 before now, so we're still doing okay. People are a little chilly, and the number in hospitals might go up. And another infirmary might not be a bad idea. You know, maybe get rid of another automaton somewhere and build another infirmary. Yeah, mild frostbite, not great. But as soon as we hit negative 110, which I assume is what's coming next, we can override the generator. This building is disabled by the storm. We'll then turn the heating off. I think that's also true over here, actually. Yeah, let's turn Like, all of these have their heating on despite no one working in them. These are not on, which is good. This can be turned off now. No one's working there either. Fear of a coal shortage. So the output of our coal mines has fallen so low that people are terrified we'll be freezing during the storm. We'd better do something about it. We'll build coal thumpers or we'll make it anyway. We'll make it anyway, guys. Do not fear. We have got 5 days worth of coal. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I can see the fact that 5 days is not enough. Like, we're not gonna... 49 is not the end. Or maybe it is, I don't know, but I don't see another drop there. Maybe we can't put the generator into overdrive? There are some people freezing. Who is freezing? No one's freezing. I think it might just be buildings that are freezing. Like these buildings over here. It does say 8 people are freezing. I don't know where these people are. Please take me to them. I would like to locate this person. Because there are no homes, right, that are freezing right now. The cookhouse is very cold. At which point we're just going to turn it off. No one can work at the cookhouse. The same is true for these. Are these cold? Yeah, these are very cold. Turn it off, and nobody work in the cookhouses. We could probably also turn the corresponding steam hub off as well. People are chilly. The House of Prayer. Do a quick old evening prayer, and also a quick sermon. But then as soon as the sermon's done, stop working at the House of Prayer. Hope's still high. Here's the drop to negative 110. People are now cold. We can override the generator, and that makes it livable. Although I am thinking that maybe that's something we should save for when it gets even colder. The music is getting so intense. My goodness. Coal theft. Sir, someone has stolen 3,000 coal from the stockpiles. It seems not everybody believes the assurances that our supplies will last. Send our men. We have to get that back. 3,000 coal is too much coal. We do still have 5 days left. Let me check the economy tab. You can see now we're losing like 4,500 coal per day, which is not ideal. Maybe we should, actually, yeah, let's definitely dismantle these buildings as well as the corresponding automatons. I'm going to build another coal mine when we get those steam cores back. It's not going to produce that much. Is this one really not online due to a lack of a street? I thought the automaton would just walk through the snow. Gosh dang it. Okay, we'll do that. Hopefully that automaton actually starts producing coal now, and hopefully we can get that up to, 6 days or more. Obviously, in an ideal world, we'd like to be still gaining a tiny bit of coal. Alas, that doesn't seem to be the case. We are gaining coal now, though, which is good. We've got 7 steam cores. Oh, yeah, of course. Each one of those wall drills was 3, right? I forgot about that. So let's assign an automaton here, and then maybe we could turn like a coal thumper back on. It depends how many automatons we have. We could take an automaton off of Steelworks. Let's put an automaton on the thumper, and let's also, if we have a spare one, put an automaton on a gathering post. It's not going to be huge, but it's going to be a little bit of extra coal that we might as well get if we have, the automatons ready to go. And on top of that, we might also want to make a new automaton. I don't know if anyone's working here. If they are, the heating is on for you, my friends. Because we need those automatons to keep us going. I honestly thought 35,000 was just like an insane amount of coal that we were never going to use. Apparently, I have been mistaken in that assumption. Because we are very quickly running out of coal. Which is quite something. I'm going to take the automaton off this gathering post for a second and put it on this coal mine. We'll put the new one that we're making onto this gathering post if it ever gets there. I don't know if people are at work, so I don't know if anything's happening there, but we'll see. We also have 1 amputee, so we'll schedule 1 prosthetic just in case, or make that 2. We've got 78 people who are currently ill. The number of ill should be falling because things are livable right now. I'm going to turn off the override on the generator. That is going to bring temperatures right down, especially as we hit... that's not good. Very cold is definitely bad. The storm, darkness before the dawn. Sir, one of our engineers comes crashing through the door, white-faced, demanding to see you. I've run the calculations with the new data. The storm will pass in a couple of days, but the temperature just before the end will drop drastically. Nothing can protect us from such cold. Panic is starting to spread, and the people are losing all hope. We have to stay strong. We can do this. The hope is falling. But that's fine. Let's get a procession. Let's do public penance. I don't want to do public penance right now, but it's going to increase people's happiness or hope. And this music is scaring me. I can see it. I can see the light. People refuse to work. That's fine. Stay home. I'm going to put the overdrive back on because I think the overdrive might last us. The automaton is back. Thank goodness. Let's put the automaton on this gathering post. We're fine. We're completely fine. We've got 4 days worth of coal. And there's like a day and a half left before the sun hits. In overdrive, people are chilling, which is obviously not ideal, but it's fine. I'm worried about this massive temperature drop that we're about to see because they did say before the sun hits, it's going to get real freaking cold. But I think we might have this. Again, if we look at the economy, yeah, you can see the massive uptick in coal use and the massive downturn in coal productivity. But hope is rising. Generator stress level is critical. Let's turn it off. Thankfully, we did get the... yeah, that does make people very cold, I'm aware. We should have it off anyway because we want to turn it on when this, negative 130 hits. So having very cold homes now, I think, is better than having freezing homes in a day here. I didn't think it was possible for it to get this cold. I actually don't think it is. I don't think Earth has ever recorded negative 120. That's way too cold. Panic spreads. Sir, even more people have abandoned their workplaces. They're completely petrified. Many of them don't believe we'll make it. This time, the entire staff of the factory have refused to go to work. They can stay home. I wish there was a button somewhere that was like, let everybody stay home. Because right now, nobody should be at work. Everybody should be within the safe, comfortable warmth of a fully bricked up house, staying as warm as is humanly possible. Miracles happen. Sir, it's a miracle. The man who went looking for his daughter is back. He brought her with him. Oh my goodness, how did you make it back in this negative 120 degrees temperature weather, you madman? He says that he found her soon after leaving the city, but then they got lost and had to wait for a lull in the blizzard to find their way back. Are you sure you know what a lull is? Because I feel like it's just getting worse. They are both exhausted and frostbitten, but very happy. That is good to know. We gave them food. He brought her back. That's fantastic. People are getting ill. There's not too much we can do about that. I guess we can build more infirmaries, actually. So there is something we can do about that 100%. And we can even have our robots man the infirmaries. So let's get one there. Let's get one here. These are top priority. And as soon as they're done, I want automatons working round the clock to heal my people. Here we go. Let's take the automaton off coal. I don't think we need it there now. And also take it off the gathering post as well. I do see this exclamation mark. I'll come to that in a second. I don't know how it feels to be treated by an automaton, but panic spreads again. People are leaving the factory. That's fine. You can stay at home. I will turn the heating on at the infirmaries. Hopefully that keeps them somewhat warm. It does. My goodness, the infirmaries are livable. They're the only livable places in this entire world. All right, the overdrive is getting low, which is good because we're going to crank it up in just a second here. We have so many. Almost everybody is ill. My goodness. Fear of the storm. Work ceases. Most of our people have abandoned their workplaces to stay home with their families. Only the medical facilities are still functioning. The city holds its breath, waiting for whatever the end will bring. Turn the generator overdrive on. This is it. This is it. We have like 200 plus people who are ill, and a bunch of them just went out of being treated because I'm assuming our medical posts are now no longer warm enough to keep people in. Let's put down another infirmary. I guess we'll have regular engineers work there. Negative 150 degrees Celsius, even with the generator on overdrive. Every single building that is not an infirmary or a steam hub is freezing. The generator is piping hot. We just have to make it. Just a few more hours, guys. We've got 4 days worth of coal left, so we've successfully weathered our coal use. No one's going to build this infirmary. Oh no, they are. They're not working, but they will still build the infirmary. The madmen. The storm ends. The wind dies down and the temperature finally starts to rise. An eerie silence descends over the city. Look at that temperature increase. Cool the generator off, everybody. It is so warm. We made it. We did, Mary Edwards. We survived. Daniel Lombard. Andrew Halsey. We survived the final blow. We will live. We have survived. We did it! I assume this is a slow, like a rebuild of our city. Or I should say a fast rebuild of our city, not a slow rebuild of our city. We started as a small society. Some refugees, that's true, we did. 80 people is what we started with. Nearly 1/10 of our final population with no food. Old habitats. First, we put our children to work. Not my proudest moment. Parents lost their children. To work, not to death. And every day was a struggle. I think that's an exaggeration. I guess we did adapt, right? It was a bit of a struggle at the beginning, but it did become quite nice in the middle there for a minute. Evening prayers. Faith keepers maintained unity. Yet, I think we haven't crossed the line. We didn't. I don't think we'd ever crossed the line. We didn't give too much power to our faith keepers. Faith gives us strength. We survived. We never went too far. We didn't put our children to work everywhere. We didn't extend working hours. We kept, I think, our people happy. We saved so many people. 674 people. 1887, New London, negative 30 degrees Celsius. There we go. We did it. We beat the first Frostpunk scenario. A new home. Look at that. Flippin' heck. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the series and you want to see more Frostpunk in the future, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. I think we'll come back and maybe do the last autumn next. There are a few more in the middle here that we might do at some point in the future, but I really want to try out some of the new stuff in the last autumn. So let me know in the comment section if you want to see that. Like I said, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you're new here to get notified as soon as new videos go out. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.